Hi guys, let's make bitter leaf soup. Now, this is a very different method of making bitter leaf, and this is Akwa Ibom style. Most Akwa Ibom soups are made with water leaf and then the vegetable you are making. So there are two ways Akwa Ibom people make bitter leaf, this method and with egusi. So for this method, I already pre-cooked my beef. I'm using beef and pomo with some stockfish. I cooked it with some seasoning, blended pepper and onions, and then added salt. Then our beef is ready. We are now ready to cook. Remember, we already know how to make our water leaf now from the bitter leaf video, from the afang video, right? So you wash your water leaf, cut it into small chunks, and then just introduce it after the pot, after your meat is ready. Then I went in with my smoked fish. I already told you guys that panla fish is my best fish. It's very affordable and very sweet. Then I went in with generous amount of crayfish. When you're making any Akwa Ibom or Calabar soups, crayfish is one of the ingredients that you should put in very large quantities, and also palm oil. Palm oil are always added in very generous amounts. If you check the Afang video, the Atama video, palm oil is always like in very large quantities. That's like one of the main things when you're making Akwa Ibom or Calabar soups. Crayfish must be in very good amount, and also palm oil. So I'm just going to stir this in very well, and we are going to cover it to cook. Also knows that anytime you're making soups that have water leaf, there is no need for you to add extra water, because the water leaf will always release its own liquid. You will see how much water will come out now from this water leaf, and the only water that was in this pot is the water from my beef, right? So I'll just stir that in, and then I went in with some seasoning because I needed to. Remember the rule, always add your seasoning in very small quantities so that you don't over season your food, and then you are now looking for a way to salvage it. So just mix that in and then cover it and allow it to come to a very good boil. Now for the bitter leaf, you can see that it's very different from the other onubu soup. You can see how this one is very small. It's more like they chopped the bitter leaf, right? So this is the bitter leaf, the kind of size of bitter leaf we use in making this particular soup. So our water leaf has come to a very good boil. It has released its own liquid, as you can see. So all I have to do is just go in with the bitter leaf. If you check very well, if you notice, you will notice that the method of making these Calabar soups are almost the same. As long as you're using water leaf, they're almost the same. You add the water leaf first and then go in with the bitter leaf. So I just covered this and allow it to cook for 5 minutes, and our bitter leaf soup is ready. You can serve this with gari, fufu, anyone. Ask me questions.